I guess we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to week 4 of your Pacesetters. If you've made it this far, oh my gosh, I just want to say congratulations. You are more than halfway there, and your business is paying off, right? By now, you've already learned how to book, learned how to get leads, learned how to share. And now it's kind of in that zone of figuring out kind of a work-life balance. Okay. And what's really neat is that there's no one specific way to run your Mary Kay business. There's a few ideas that will give you that are tried and true and that will really help keep you on the straight and narrow with your business. But at the end of the day, it's really you figuring out what works best for you and your family. We've already said earlier in these trainings and Pacesetters weeks that whatever your family rallies around and realizes what's happening, they're going to help with and they're going to support and they're going to be behind you. So, with everything that I'm saying today, I just want to just reiterate that. Know that if your family knows what's happening, if your family knows what the goal is, if your family knows an exact map of what this is going to look like and what it's going to take, and when you will be busy and when you won't be busy and things like that, it's going to be a lot easier. It's going to be a lot easier for them to respect what you're doing and be excited about what you're doing. So are you ready for week 4? This week is all about time management, money management, and emotional management. I know lots of management, but that's what I love about Mary Kay is that they teach us how to do life. They don't just throw a starter kit at us and say, here you go, ready, set, let's see if you're successful. We really want to make sure that you have the tools you need to be successful. So we're going to go ahead and start it off with time management because I feel like Mary Kay said it best. We all have the same exact seconds, and she said the number of seconds. It's 800 some seconds in a day. Use them wisely. We all have the same time, and whether or not you make them productive is up to you. And Mary Kay also said, sorry, I'm like having a breathing problem. Mary Kay also said that failure to plan is planning to fail. So we have to plan so we don't fail. And it's not like anyone sets out to fail. Like we don't consciously tell ourselves that's it today and this week. I'm not writing anything down. I'm just going to fail, and that's just what this week is going to be like. That's not, nobody consciously says that. But when you don't consciously tell yourself what you're going to do, the inevitable happens. Nothing. What's the statistic for in America? Only 3% of people who write their goals. No, I probably should have written this down. But you've heard all the different statistics about those who write their goals down and write their plans out actually get them done versus those who don't and never really get anywhere in life. And if they do, it's just kind of by happenstance. And you better believe that they want to be a lot further than they are. They just don't realize how bad they're sabotaging themselves. Okay, so here we go with time management. I'm going to give you guys 3 specific tools to work with this week and to really stay accountable with your director and with your national if you really want to. She'd be excited to see stuff like this from you. But especially your director, we want to see what your week is going to look like so that we know where we can plug in and offer advice and offer, oh, by George, you're right in my area. I'm free in that time period of time, and you're going to have a party. I'd love to swing by and help you with the marketing side or, things like that. So first and foremost, for time management, we're going to talk about the weekly plan sheet. So you can get it off of InTouch, and we'll also have it on our website. But your weekly plan sheet, this is the weekly plan sheet. It even says it at the top. Mary Kay weekly plan sheet. Mary Kay put this together forever and a day ago, and it still holds true today. And what I love about this is that it has, you can do it electronically, but there's something about pen and paper. It just happens that much better, okay? So this doesn't take long to fill out. here's what you're going to do with this. You're going to print one of these out for the week, and you can download it off of Mary Kay in Touch. And if you don't want to find all the different tabs where to look for it, just in the search button, put weekly plan sheet, and boom, the PDF will come up. You click on it, you print it, there's your weekly plan sheet. And so we recommend that you would do this on Sunday night. So tonight, well, for me it's Sunday right now, but on a Sunday, you would print this out and you would just on one sheet have just a blank sheet and do a brain dump. And here's what I mean by brain dump. You write out, you just spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long it takes you to write out everything you know you have to do this week. So for example, this week I need to go to the bank, I need to go grocery shopping, I need to double check on something for our insurance, I need to have 3 parties scheduled, I have some coaching calls with girls scheduled, I need to book, I need to make sure my inventory is up to date, I need to, all these different things that go into, I have to make dinner every night, I have to prep for, what else do we have to, I should probably do my brain dump. Okay, so everything, absolutely everything you have to do in the week that you can think of right now. That's a time if you have lots of kids, with Graham being just a year and a half, he really doesn't have a schedule. Extracurricular schedule, he does have a sleeping schedule and a napping and an eating schedule. Otherwise, this mama would pull her hair out. But if you have multiple kids or even just one with extracurriculars, this is where you would pull out all of those calendars and really sync it onto one sheet, your weekly action sheet, okay? Your weekly plan sheet. And it's really neat. It's got a slot for every day of the week, and the day starts at 6 a.m. and it goes until 10 p.m., okay? Now, we're not telling you have to wake up at 6 a.m., but it's there should you wake up that early, okay? So you brain dump all on one sheet. Then you look at your sheet. And I like to color code things. So this could be something you do, this, could be something you don't do, but I really like to color code things in saying that, okay, pink is for Mary Kay work, and green is for Mary Kay work that is money-making work, blue is for family, and purple is for me, okay? So you go through your weekly plan sheet, and you write in everything you know has already a set time. So if you have soccer practice on, let's start with this. You have your weekly Monday night meeting. On Monday nights, you put that in. You have soccer practice on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, you have family nights or church nights. On Thursdays, you have another Mary Kay party night. And then on Fridays, it's family night again. So that's just an example of what it would be. And so you fill in all those different things that you already know exist. Your Monday night meeting, you've got to go to that. It exists, put it on your calendar. Tuesday night, you have practice for whichever child at whichever game, put it on the map. Okay, on the map, on your weekly plan sheet. Okay, it's kind of like a life map. So you're going to put everything on that sheet. Everything that you know has to happen this week. That has times. Whatever doesn't have a set time, for example, going to the bank and checking on the insurance thing for me. That's a life thing, not a Mary Kay thing. I'm going to fill that in very last. I'm going to see what else do I have in my week. I have a party at this time. I have a facial at this time. I have a muffins and makeovers at this time. And then I'll go in and see what empty time is there to put in going to the bank and calling the insurance, right? So the reason we do the work side first, I know probably some of you are like, well, why am I doing it? Like, the bank and insurance is very important. Yes, it is. But here's the thing. If you worked an 8 to 5 job, you wouldn't plan going to the bank at 10 o'clock on a Monday morning because that's when you feel like going to the bank, right? Right. You're not going to do that because you know your boss needs you there at 8 o'clock or at 9 o'clock or whatever your set time is. And then you fill in the rest on, say, a lunch break or on your way home from work or something like that. I think what really tends to happen with our Mary Kay business, because we do have the flexibility, and that's huge. That's a very important thing in our business, and I'm so excited for it because that's what I wanted with my life. I wanted to be able to call the shots. So it's a super powerful tool that we have, but it's also the one that gets us in trouble the most because, yes, we do have this flexibility, No one's standing over us to make sure that we're doing things when they needed to be done. It's up to us. And so we need to be our own boss. We have to be a good boss. And the way I think about it is compared to, last week, if you were a boss, would you hire you? Something to think about. I know on some days I would say, oh, heck no, I'd have fired me first. And some days I'd have said, yes, that was a really good day. So the goal is to get more so of the days to be, yes, I would hire myself. And if you aren't hiring yourself, then you've got to make a change. Okay. So put in everything that has a time, like a permanent time. Okay. We've already been over that. Then you're going to start filling in times when you're going to book, times when you're going to check up on your customers, all the different IPAs that we have. And that would be something green on your schedule. So parties would be green, your meetings would be pink, because unless you're having a party at your meeting, then it would be pink and green. But you get my drift, okay? And you can pick any colors you want. I just say pick 4 or 5 different categories that your life revolves around, to where when you look at a calendar, you can train your mind to say, oh, okay, this time is family time. Oh, okay, this time is Mary Kay time. Oh, okay, I don't have anything planned in this slot yet, but I know I need more Mary Kay time, so I'm going to just circle it in green and figure out what else to put into that time slot. Does that make sense? And that's what's going to go onto your weekly plan sheet. Back in the day, Mary Kay required that when you came to a meeting on a Monday night, you could show her your weekly plan sheet for this next upcoming week. Okay? The other thing she would make you bring to a meeting was your weekly accomplishment sheet. So that is item number 2 that we're going to talk about. Weekly accomplishment sheet. This, same as with the weekly plan sheet. It's on InTouch. You can print it out. And I love that it's also electronic. Okay? And so we'll get to that in a second. But I still would say print it out, have it in your hand so that you can track what actually happened in a week. So we've got our plan. Now this is going to be what we did this week. And again, it's got you'll put all of your information at the top, and then you're going to count down all of your appointments. What time were they at? How many guests? How much did you sell? Number of bookings you made from that party or appointment, number of leads you got, sharing, things like that. So this is going to be, it's kind of like your progress report every week, and you're grading yourself because you did the work. Okay. And this is so important for a few different reasons. One, it's a progress report for you. If you feel like you've worked a lot this week, odds are you either did or you only thought about working a lot this week. And at the end of the week, when you have to go to fill this out, what did I do with my time? There's nothing to put on here, but I felt like I did Mary Kay all day long. So this just helps you really get smart about your business. So your weekly accomplishment sheet. And what I love the most about this is that this really helps narrow down what you're doing in your business, where we need to fill in the holes. And so you're going to print this out so you can really follow along throughout the week and keep track of what you're doing. But you're also going to fill it out electronically. And here's why. Electronically on InTouch, and it'll be under Business Tools, and down at the very bottom of Business Tools, it's under Weekly Accomplishment Sheets. And you're going to fill it out, and you can slowly add onto it every single day with however you're working, whatever you're doing. And then at the end of the week, you submit it. And what's really neat is that when you submit it, us, your directors, get to see what went on. And hear me on this. If you had an amazing weekly accomplishment sheet and you did everything you set out to do on your weekly plan sheet, and that whole thing is filled out and amazing and beautiful, submit it. We want to know. We want to know exactly what happened. We want to know where you're super strong, where you can have a little bit of improvement, where we really need to just have a party to celebrate. Okay, so submit it. On the flip side, you just had a horrible week. People canceled left and right. If everybody you shared the opportunity said no, if everybody you facialed that week was just a party pooper and did not want to purchase anything and did not want to book a second appointment and all the negative things that could possibly happen, put it in your weekly plan sheet or weekly accomplishment sheet. We want to know. submit it. Here's why. When I was a consultant, brand new consultant, I did these week in and week out. I was probably one of the only ones in our unit that did them very, very religiously. Okay. And guess what? My senior, Kelly, could see. She was seeing that, oh, well, you do good at making a sale because every face you see, you sell X amount. That's a really good average. But Sarah, you are spending so much time in your business because you're seeing one face at a time. So she could see that and she coached me. For whatever reason, in my mind, I didn't think that double booking was okay because, well, every person needs to have their own individual facial unless she wants to host a party. But other than that, I have to have individual time for every single person. And she helped me to see that no, that wasn't the case. If I booked everybody, because most of my appointments were always during the afternoon. And so she said, if you booked everybody on a Thursday at 4 o'clock versus Monday at 4, Friday at 4, Wednesday at 4, and Thursday at 4, if you booked them all together, how much more time will you be saving? But it was a little bit harder to hear that throughout the week. But when it was all on one sheet, boom, there it was. You can really look at it and pull from it. Another time that I thought it was really important to see one of my consultants' weekly accomplishment sheets was she was saying that she just could not, didn't have enough people to share with, could not build a team. That was her excuse. I don't know enough people to share with. And I was thinking, wait a minute. You turn in your weekly accomplishment sheet every other week, and you always have 4 or 5 faces on there that you saw, that you took care of for the week. How are we not sharing with those people? And just the connection just wasn't there that she was able to share in a party. It didn't have to be, here's all the product, and then tomorrow we'll get together for coffee and share the opportunity. We could put it together, but see, it's simple things like that that typically the consultant may not know, because I'll be the first to know, I'm still learning in this business, and there are still things that my senior and my national say, Sarah, you could tweak this and make it just a little bit better. So school's never out for the pro. We're always learning. And so these are the different tools that help you with your time and just really figure out, what did I do this week? What was I supposed to do? What did I set out to do? What did I actually do? And how can I make it better next week? Okay. So weekly accomplishment sheet is super, super, super important. And you know what? Mary Kay used to make everybody bring this filled out to her meetings. And if you did not have your weekly accomplishment sheet, she would not let you stand up for any recognition, because it was as if you didn't do your job that week. So you must be filling out your weekly accomplishment sheets, and have your weekly plan sheets ready for that next week, so that you actually have a plan and a game plan, kind of like in sports. You're never going to go to a football field or to a football game and see the players just run out and not have any, just wing it. Nobody wings it. How many times have they practiced all their different plays, all their different, I don't know all the words to football, but that coach, he's got a clipboard full of different things that they know that they need to do. And it was all planned beforehand and all practiced beforehand. So that's what you need. You need your playbook for the week. Otherwise, you're going to look like 5-year-olds out on the field. And it's kind of funny. I mean, we love the 5-year-olds and not making fun of the 5-year-olds playing soccer, but here's the ball and all the players are going around all over the field with that ball. There's nobody really stays in their zone of offense and defense, and the goalie is picking flowers. And I'm taking this example from back when my sister was in soccer, and she was the goalie picking flowers. So you need a game plan. Otherwise, you're going to be just like all those 5-year-olds going wherever the wind blows you, and nothing really gets done. And at the end of the day, you feel tired because you've been running down the field all day long, but what was really accomplished? Nothing. Well, the parents had fun watching their children, but in your Mary Kay business, nothing gets accomplished. So there's those routines. And then the last thing on time management that I will say is going to be your daily action sheet. I know it's a lot of daily and weekly things, but I guarantee you hear that noise? It's my son. He's just having fun, okay? I guarantee you, when you start to write things down, you'll be able to look back and really see what you've been doing, what you could be doing better. And not only that, but here's a really cool part. I've never done this because it just never dawned on me to do this. But when I was doing my weekly accomplishment sheets, one of the reasons why my mentor and senior told me to do them was because when she would go to um, a sharing appointment and people would straight up ask, how much do you really make in a week? And how much do you really work? So when they're really trying to grill you about the opportunity and see if this is going to work in their schedule and things like that, you can go back and just pull out those weekly accomplishment sheets and say, look, on my best week, I worked X amount of hours, I did X amount of faces, I had X amount of sales, and I had X amount of shares, and X amount of people joined my team. And that led to X amount of money that week. And on my worst week, and you pull that out, okay? And I guarantee you, that's so much more powerful than just telling someone, well, this is what I do, because unless they see it, they may not believe it. So this is one way of being able to show it, okay? So the last thing in time management before we move on is going to be your daily action sheet. What I love about the daily action sheet, and again, this will be on my website, and the daily action sheet has your 6 most important lists on there. If you have not heard about the 6 most important lists in Mary Kay, you either A, have been living under a rock, or B, you just got into Mary Kay and you haven't had enough time to figure out what that is, okay? So the 6 most important lists, 6 most important lists, and it's really neat. You know how Mary Kay Ash has a story about this, about where she heard about this. I forget all the names and the details, but the gist of the story is this guy had a company. I think it was something about steel. They were doing something with steel in the steel industry. And he hired this big old macho consultant to come and help figure out where he can make his business more efficient, okay, and make just his whole company more efficient. And so when he was saying, you know, what can I do? How do I fix my business to make? I mean, it wasn't broken; it was doing well, but it wasn't at the capacity that he thought it could be. And so the consultant looked at him and said, you know what? I'm not even gonna, you know, do much. I'm just gonna give you this one piece of advice, and if it yields you a profit within the next 6 months, then you can pay me what you think you should pay me. Okay? And here was the advice. He told the boss, the owner of the company, to have all of his people write a 6 most important list. The 6 most important things that have to get done today. Okay? And the boss looked at him and was like, that's it? Like, that's all? And he says, yeah, just have them write a 6 most important list. And so at the next staff meeting, he talked about the 6 most important list and, you know, having these 6 things, just 6 things, not 85, 6 things on your list. And over time, people got so much better. You know, at first they would write their 6 most important list and not really stick to it. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it was like, wait, what do we have to show for today? We didn't even do our 6 most important things. And so within those next 6 months, I forget the exact numbers, but it was upwards of like 3 times more the production. You can read it about it in Mary Kay's autobiography. And so it was like 3 times more the revenue that this company was making within the next 6 months, just because they listened to this guy's advice about the 6 most important list. And then so he calls the consultant in and he says, all right, this was freaking amazing. My company's doing so much better. And this is all we've changed, because it gets you zoned in on what you really have to do. Not all the million things that you have to do. So, you know, on Sunday you do a brain dump, and then on every night for the next night, you do a mini brain dump about what has to happen tomorrow, okay? And so that's where your daily action sheet comes into play, because you have your 6 most important things for personal and family things. So for example, this is where I would put going to the bank, calling the insurance, making dinner, things like that. And then you've got your 6 most important list for your Mary Kay business. Now, the top 3 things that need to be on your 6 most important list for your Mary Kay business are IPAs. IPAs are income producing activities. The 3 most important things that need to be on your list are Booking, coaching, because a party booked needs to be coached. Otherwise, what was the point of booking it? So booking, coaching, sharing, whether you have a facial and you're sharing in the facial, or you are setting up a coffee date with your director to learn how to share, or whatever it is, sharing, and then selling. So customers, checking in with your customers, things like that. So that's four right there. There's 6 things, and I just already gave you the 4 things you need to do every single day. Okay. And then the last 2 are going to be things like deliver some product, get your, um, you know, inventory in check, things like that. But those are going to be the last 2 things that you do, not the first 2 things. So often we feel like, oh my gosh, I can't start work today because my office is flying, my inventory is still in boxes, and I don't know what's happening. Do not waste your time making everything just right in your closets and on your bookshelves and things like that, because that does not give you money. And guess what? You can do that at 2 in the morning or at midnight when you can't fall asleep and have insomnia or whenever else. But between the hours of 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., those are your hours of doing IPAs that really matter in Mary Kay. So the first 4 are going to be booking, coaching, sharing, and selling, okay? And then the last 2 are kind of up to you. But those first 4 have to happen. If it's anything other than those 4, my question is going to be, what are you doing? And where is your business? Is your business really where you want it to be? Okay? And then the last thing on this sheet is kind of neat. Daily, it'll have that calendar for you as well. So you can just kind of copy paste what you put on your weekly plan sheet to right here, so you have it more in front of your face for the day. And then it helps you keep track of the 5 customers you called, 5 potential bookings, prospective team members to follow up with, appointments to coach, things like that, to where you really know what you're doing. And these are all IPAs. They're all IPAs. So if you don't know what to do with your business, just pick up one of these sheets and start doing what it says, because that's what you're supposed to be doing in your business. And you guys, once I started using this and really planning on at night, so tonight I'm going to fill my accomplishment or my weekly, so many sheets on my daily action sheet for tomorrow. And I'm going to put the 6 most important things for work and the 6 most important things for my family and go from there. Because when in the morning when I wake up, I will have a plan. I will already know what's happening. I don't have to make anything up. I don't have to think about, oh, well, what do I really have to do today? You wake up with a purpose and you're ready to go. You're on fire. You know what you're doing. You don't have to spend an hour or 2 getting your brain in the mindset. Okay? So, weekly plan sheet, weekly accomplishment sheet, and daily action sheet. Get your time in check, because if you don't, it will rule you. It really will. Okay, so that is the time management. The next I want to talk about is your money management. Guys, money management is so important in our business, because most of the time us coming into Mary Kay don't really have a financial background. If you've had a normal job, you just know that you get paid. You get a paycheck at the end of the week or every other week or whenever you get it. And that's great. And you get to go do whatever you need with that. And you have some sort of a budget, hopefully, for your home life. But really, there's no one holding your hand to say, this is how much you're going to make. It's here. This is how much you made. Okay? Now, oh, and if you're lucky, they pull out taxes, so you don't even have to set any money aside for that. But if they don't, then you kind of know you need to pull aside money for that. But anyways, okay. Money management. So important, because it's so easy to self-sabotage from our business. So, you know, in Mary Kay, on our sales, we make 50% profit on anything we sell. Okay, so we sell $100, we have $50 in our hand to do with what we want. Yes, excuse me, you could go have a shopping spree or pay the water bill or whatever it is you have to do with that $50. But wouldn't it be easier if you were a little bit smarter with it and kind of planned to where you never feel like you're paying into your Mary Kay business? Here's what I mean by that. So, yes, we make 50%, but do we buy cute little bags? to put all of our products in to make it look like a cute little present for our customers? Yes. Do we sometimes buy cookies and treats and snacks to make our parties more fun and inviting? Yes. Do we sometimes, I don't know, what else is there? Oh, we need to pay for things like seminar and events. So we need to be able to set money aside for that from the business and not have it come from our normal account. Do we, oh, I know, here's a good one. PCP, the Preferred Customer Program. You don't know what that is? That's another training for another day. But it's pretty much a catalog that the company sends on your behalf to your customers, but you have to pay for that. It's about 70 cents a name. And I don't know about you, but before I started really tracking my dollars, it felt like every quarter I was sending out so many catalogs and feeling like, what? Where did that money just come from? I need to pay for this, and it's not here. And it felt like it was coming out of the home budget because I wasn't on the ball to really know what my money was looking like coming from my business. Okay, so I'm going to blow your mind here in just a second. Are you ready? We have a chart for you. You don't even have to figure it out on your own. We've made an Excel sheet and it's ready to go so that you know how to track your money in Mary Kay. So, have you ever heard of the 60-40 split? Think about it. 60-40 split. You're probably thinking, what? I thought we make 50-50. Mary Kay makes 50%. We make 50%. Well, yeah, they do. But we're going to switch it up just a little bit. Okay? So the 60-40 split. Instead of taking 50% profit to just go blow and do whatever we want to do with, I'm going to challenge you to stay on top of your money game and only take home 40% as a profit. The other 50%, okay, so 40% is your profit. Now we're going to look at the 60%. Of the 60%, 50 is going to go back to putting that product back on your shelf. Okay, and if you don't have a sustainable inventory, then the other 10 goes directly to that as well. We need to get your inventory up to par to where you can be servicing your customers without having them wait for you to place orders, okay? Excuse me. So 60-40, 50% goes back into repurchasing product that left your shelf to put it back on your shelf, okay? The other 10% of that 60 gets split two ways. So 5% and 5%. The first 5% is going to get put aside towards anything that is businessy related. So just, for example, the extra little washcloths you like to buy, the profile cards we need to buy, the samples we need to buy for, that customer that's out of town and wants to try 15 different lip gloss shades before she chooses one, and we can't send her all of the full-size ones because that's just a hot mess. And you buy the little plastic sample cards and you send her those. So anything like businessy related like that. The other 5% is going to go towards shipping and towards really anything. So this is where like your PCP would go in because it's something you ship out. Or if you have out-of-town customers, I don't know about you, but I offer free shipping to any of my customers because I know they could just as easily find a consultant there in their area and then lose loyalty to me. So I will swallow that $2, $3, $4 in shipping to get them their favorite mascara, foundation, and moisturizer because I know I'm going to have them as a customer for life. Okay? So 5% is kind of all things shipping, and the other 5% is going to be anything else business related. And also in that is going to be putting aside money for things like seminar, fall retreat, career conference, things like that. Okay, and I promise you, in the spreadsheet, it's all really self-explanatory. You'll see the columns there. You'll know exactly what has to go in that column. Okay, so the way this works is it's going to ask you, how much money did you sell and collect? So let's say you sold $100 worth of product. Well, really, you collected $108.25 with the tax if you're in Texas. The next column is going to say, how much free stuff did you give away? So let's say you had a hostess promotion and you put it in there that you gave her a free satin hands or a satin hands at half off or whatever. The next column is going to say how much wholesale left your store. Okay, so if it was $50 plus a mascara that was free, you'll put that in there. And guess what? The spreadsheet does the rest. It spits out the numbers of, based on all of this, 50% has to go back to Mary Kay to replenish your inventory. Okay, so wholesale orders. 5% is X amount goes towards the shipping side. 5% goes towards the other Mary Kay stuff that you will need. And then at the very last column, it will show you exactly how much you made. Because if you were anything like me in my first few years of business, it's taken me a long time to really get money savvy and know what's coming in, what's going out, and what my real profit is for the month, okay? It will show you very clearly that yes, you may have sold $100 and you may think you made $50, but don't freak out and look at the bank account and think, why isn't that there? Because this is why you had all these other little things that do add up. They're part of the business. They just are. And then at the end of the day, you can really look at that last column and it says, this is what your profit is. And that's what you get to go have a shopping spree with and feel good about yourself, knowing that you are not sabotaging your business and that you are not embezzling from your business to the house or from the house to your business. So it's so important to be on top of things with your money management. And again, we've got that Excel sheet for you, so we'll have that sent to you and put on our website. And what I think is important too is that we don't need to spend so much time on this. It really isn't going to take you that long. I mean, I'm full-time Mary Kay, and I have a lot more going into it just as a director and things like that. And so it might take me a little bit more than a consultant who is working 5 to 10 hours a week. But you want to plan time in your daily action sheet, daily plan sheet, weekly accomplishment sheet to have what's called either a Money Monday, and you spend 5 to 10 minutes on a Monday inputting your sales tickets and things like that, and your receipts and whatever you may need, and really figuring out, okay, this is what was it in the end. Okay, so either a Money Monday or a Financial Friday. You could pick any other day in the week, I guess, but really having it on that same set day every week will help you really stay on top of things and keeping track of what you made in your business, what you think you made, and really help close that gap of knowing your numbers, because it's very powerful to know your numbers. So that's money management, okay? Simple enough, but that's the 40-60 split, and it will save your life, I promise you. Last thing I want to kind of go over is just a little bit of emotional management. And we kind of try to touch on this in almost every one of our weeks, simply because we're women, we're emotional. It's just a fact of life. That's how the good Lord made us, okay? So, but this time I want to kind of give it a different spin, kind of give you a tool to work with that'll help with your emotional management. Has anyone ever heard of the miracle morning? Yes, no, maybe so. Some of you are like, oh my gosh, I know it. I've done it. It's amazing. Everybody needs to do it. Some of you are thinking, oh yeah, I probably have heard of it and I should have been doing it and it hasn't happened, and you're in denial about it. And some of you just have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's okay, because I'm going to explain it to you right here. So you can go out and buy the book, Miracle Morning. I forget who the author is, but it's real simple. Miracle Morning. And read the book, and you'll see everything I'm telling you right now. Or you could just listen to this crash course and not have to buy the book, and I'll tell you what's going on in that book and why it's important. The miracle morning. So many times what happens in our day is not real, and how we react to our day is not really on the outside of us, it's on the inside. It's in our heart and it's in our mind. And how we react to it is so important in how successful we're going to be, not only throughout that day, but throughout all of life, because it really sets the tone for what you're wanting out of your life. Okay, so Miracle Mondays is going to help set the tone, or Miracle Mornings, not just on a Monday, every morning. You need a Miracle Morning every morning. It's going to help set the tone for the rest of your day, the rest of your week, the rest of your month. It's going to be phenomenal. So here's what it is. Get your pen and paper out, because you have to write this down. It's an acronym. SAVERS. 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 And here's what it is. Each letter stands for something that you're going to do for 10 minutes in your morning. And we would recommend, I don't know if you've ever heard from Mary Kay, being part of the 5 a.m. club. Don't worry, I'm not part of the 5 a.m. club, even though I'm telling you guys it's really good to be part of the 5 a.m. club. My body just does not operate at 5 a.m. And you know yourself. There was a time in my life when my body did operate at 5 a.m., but right now it's not that time. So you're gonna wake up an hour before you normally do. Okay, and I promise you, an hour of less sleep is not gonna kill you. It really isn't, because you're gonna see that setting yourself up and spending time on you, putting your oxygen mask on first, just like you were in a hotel, not a hotel, an airplane. I guess it's like a mini hotel in the sky. Uh, you were in an airplane. If the oxygen levels start to decrease and the plane is losing pressure and whatever's happening, they always tell you, no matter if you have children, elderly with you, anything, your mask goes on first. Because if you can't help yourself, how do you expect to help anybody else? Okay, so this is your oxygen mask. Your miracle morning is your oxygen mask. S, the first S stands for silence. So you're going to wake up an hour earlier than you normally do. And you're going to have 10 minutes of silence. Now, this can look different for everybody. For me, I like to pray in that 10 minutes and just kind of get it out of my system about, surrendering everything that's going to happen today to the Lord and just really letting it all out there. Some of you, if you have other meditation skills or not skills, what's the word? Techniques, things like that, just have 10 minutes of silence. In one of my classes in school through psychology, one thing that was huge was breathing. So in that 10 minutes, if you just want to really focus on your breathing and breathe 4 counts in and 4 counts out and just have 10 minutes of whatever it is, 10 minutes of silence. No music in the background. Hopefully your children aren't awake yet. So this really has to be done by yourself. It's really, really hard to do your miracle morning with someone there in the room. Trust me, I've tried to do it with Graham in the room. I've tried to do it with my husband in the room. It's just not the same. It's not your time. So 10 minutes of silence. Then your next 10 minutes are going to be 10 minutes of affirmations. Affirmations. Some of you might think it's silly, but affirmations are going to change your life. Like, they just are. They're going to start to change the way your mind thinks about what you are capable of and what can be done versus what you think can be done. So affirmations go something like this. I am strong. I am powerful. I'm going to seize today. I'm going to make today count. Today is amazing. There's nobody that's going to stand in my way. I'm going to make today awesome. Okay? So that's something I just made up on the spot. Yours is going to be a little bit more in depth and specific to what you want to achieve in your life, but it's usually always the same thing. So I've got mine typed out, and if I say it aloud to myself or even just whisper it, sometimes I feel a little weird talking to myself, especially if the rest of the house is sleeping. But if I just whisper it to myself, it's still so much more powerful than reading it. And one of my girlfriends, Catherine, loves to do the power pose. Have you guys seen the science on this power pose thing? You stand like a superhero with your hands on your hips. I don't know if you can see my elbows and stuff like that. But you're power posing in the mirror and you are just affirming yourself and telling yourself how awesome you are. Your day's just going to be that much better. And day by day by day of continuously doing that, you will start to see huge difference in just how you're thinking and what your day's going to look like. Okay, so 10 minutes of silence, 10 minutes of affirmations. Then your next 10 minutes is going to be visualizations. Okay, and again, if you've never done this, it might seem silly, but once you start to do it, just trust me, just do it. Just do it. Like I'm like in your face, like if I were right there and holding your face right here, I would say, just do it. And you're going to thank yourself for it. Okay, you're going to thank me for it, and then you're going to thank yourself for it. But visualization, just really picturing what it's going to look like. And here's a really concrete example for me. I've been in Mary Kay for 6 years now. Okay, I just got my anniversary card for being in Mary Kay for 6 years. In those 6 years, I've sold a ton of product. Every single year, I've told myself that I will be on the court of sales. I will be on the Queen's Court of Sales at seminar, crossing the stage with my sash on. It's going to be amazing. My own Miss America moment. And you know what's sad? I never saw myself up there. Just never thought to see myself up there. Just kind of said, oh, it would be nice. And would see all the other ladies cross And in my mind, reruns would run about actually having been at seminar and seeing the women cross the stage, but I never really pictured it for myself until I heard about this. And I was like, okay, visualize. What can I visualize? And here's what's funny. I couldn't see everything about it, but I could see, because I've had the experience when I debuted as a sales director of crossing the stage. So I kind of knew a little bit about what it was like. So I could see that rerun in my head. And slowly and surely, I trained myself to see myself in a beautiful gown. Because I wasn't in a director suit, I was in my gown. That's how you cross the stage at seminar for awards night. Okay. So in a gown. So slowly, I kept thinking about this gown. What is this gown going to look like? Am I going to be wearing flats? Am I going to be wearing heels? Is it going to be super sparkly, or is it going to be flowy, or is it going to be, body fitting? What is it going to be? And then slowly but surely, I started to add the sash into my picture of, oh yes, that blue sash. And look, you guys, look, you guys, look, you guys. This is the first and only year that I've ever visualized myself doing it. And this is the first and only year that I've actually gotten the sash. Like, look, this is a real sash from Mary Kay. See, it's Mary Kay. I didn't just go ahead and buy myself my own sash. Like, it's a sash from Mary Kay. And it says, Queen's Court of Personal Directors of Queen's Court Sales Director of Personal Sales 2017. I got my sash because I pictured it, I visualized it, I knew it was gonna happen. I just saw myself up there, and whenever, during the day that I didn't think I could do it, that someone returned a product, that someone said, "Oh, that order I got yesterday, or that I told you I wanted yesterday, don't deliver it today. I decided I don't want it." It didn't let me get down on myself and about my goal, because I could still see it. I could still see it happening. So it was just putting one foot in front of the next. So visualizing where you want to be is so important, both in normal, outside of Mary Kay life and your Mary Kay life. Where do you want to be? What are your goals? What are they going to look like when you're celebrating those goals and living out those goals? So visualize, so important. So first is silence, then affirmation, then visualize. We got 3 more. The next one is exercise. And I know. Some of you are like, girl, I am not waking up that early to exercise. You're not going to do that. That's okay. Spend 10 minutes stretching. Yeah, stretching. Or do 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups. 10 minutes getting your blood pumping. If that means 10 minutes of just walking your same block, do that. Walk your same block. If that means 10 minutes of walking up and down your stairs, do it. You will not regret it. Because, like Elle Woods says in Legally Blonde, exercise gives you endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. Happy people don't kill their husbands. You see, this is important for the whole health of our family. Our exercise, so we don't kill the poor people. Okay, so exercise is so important. If you were to add 10 minutes a day, that's 70 minutes a week of working out, of getting your blood pumping. What would that do for your body, for how you feel, for how you look, for how you feel about how you look, for everything? Exercise, do it. And then the last 2 is reading. So R for reading. And that's just going to be 10 pages. I mean, read for 10 minutes. An average reading pace is about a page a minute. And I don't mean like super fine print. I mean, a decent sized book. Right now, actually, I am reading The Vision Map by Joel Malm. So there is that. Y'all, this book, I've read it. I've read it for 2 days. I'm on page like 22. And it is only 92 pages. Okay, 92 pages. So within a little more than a week, I can finish this book. If you're reading 10 pages a day, that is 3,650 pages a year. And the average book is about 200 pages. So this is kind of a short book. But the average book is about 200 pages. So you could be potentially reading 18 books a year. How cool would that be? Which is 10 minutes a morning. Fill your mind with good stuff. And then the last thing is going to be scribing / journaling. So write things down. whether it's writing your prayer down, whether it's writing what you're thankful for. So I kind of go back and forth on what I write about. It doesn't have to be the same thing over and over again. It just has to be something. One of our sales nationals, or national sales directors, Leah Matson, well, she's got more fancy words in front of her name, senior something something or other, national, I forget. But she talks about how she types out, she says writing just takes her forever. She doesn't like her handwriting. It's more of a mess than what she really cares to do, okay? So what she does is sits at her computer for 10 minutes and types out her affirmations. She has them printed out on a sheet and she just types them out. So she has not only sat there and read them to herself for 10 minutes, but now she's typing them out. That's even more validation for yourself, okay? Guys, are you ready for Miracle Mornings? Miracle Mornings full of silence, affirmations, visualizations, exercise, reading, and scribing. Because when you do those 6 things, I promise you, your day will be turned around from what you thought it could be, and it will be that much better because you know now you have a purpose. You have told yourself it's going to be a great day. You have set your mind up. And if your mind is controlling your day versus your heart and emotions that just go nuts all day long, because this is what a normal day in the life of me looks like. I don't know about you, but if you're anything like me, and I'm not that far off from being your quote unquote American average woman, your emotions are doing this too all day long. But you'll have that hour from the beginning of the day to be able to look back on and, okay, I can do this. I can do this. So there you have it. Week 4, time management, money management, and emotional management. I think you guys are going to have, or I know you guys are going to have a great week. And your homeworks this week. There's a few other things that we'll add to it, but the main gist of it is get your weekly plan sheet done. Write it out. Have a plan for the week. If you don't have a plan for the week, you are planning to fail, and that's just pretty pathetic. Do not plan to fail. At the end of the week, you're going to fill out your weekly accomplishment sheet and turn it in electronically to us because we, your directors, are amazing and we will help you fix the holes in your business. Daily, you're going to work on that your daily action sheet, okay? Daily action sheet. You're going to do it. And then every morning, do your miracle morning. Do your miracle morning. And here's the thing. For your first morning, I'll even give you a little break. Do 5 minutes of each, not 10. So it'll only be a 30-minute extra waking up. And when you see that first day of doing so much more in the morning that's intentional for you and your heart and your soul and your mind and your spirit, and again and again. So there you have it. I can't wait to hear how this week goes for you guys and just what big, huge leaps and bounds you will take in your business when you are managing your time wisely, managing your money and knowing what you're making so you can go shopping and do whatever else it is you need to do, and then managing your emotions and really being on top of the ball. So I love you guys. I hope you have a great week.